temple was constructed and opened in 1996, all the services were held in the windmill. And you can imagine people were just spilling out because the windmill holds about 50 people at most. And there were chairs all over here and they had speakers. And so that's the story of how this place came to be. Okay? So.
Sir, how did the lake came about, or what time the lake?
The lake started developing as this guy was excavating it in the 20s. This guy named Alonzo Bell was the person who started. They actually used to use this place for filming movies back in the 20s. And so that's about as much as I know about it. And so it was dedicated around 1950.
Is that the step designer, or set designer? I mean, is that the set design?
I don't know that detail. I don't know that detail. But this place is really special, as you can see. Someone told me that there was a guy coming from. He was a UPS person. He was delivering a package, and he came up to one of the monks and he said, "What is it about this place?" He says, "This is really different." Because that's one of the things you'll start to notice, the vibrations that are here. It's a really different place. I have a friend of mine who calls this his spiritual emergency room. Mm-hmm. So when he's stressed out, he comes here and he sits in the windmill for about a half an hour. And you calm yourself down. And it's really different. It's a lot of fun. I mean, spiritually, it's a lot of fun. So, oops. Okay, so we got a good group today. There are times where I've led this tour with only one or two people, and there's sometimes I've led it with 50. There was a Saturday afternoon, it was a special day, and there were 50 kids that were Muslims. They were from Islam, and they wanted to have a tour of the lake, and it was one of the most unbelievable experiences. These kids, they were like with me the whole way. You know how, as you remember your teenage years, you're kind of like all over the place, you know? They were listening to everything I was saying, and they related it to their own religion, you know? And it's just really a beautiful thing that you'll start to see. I'm actually getting into the tour here. We're going to start in about 3 minutes. But one of the things you'll see is that this is not about any one religion. It's at the heart of all religions. It's the basis of all religions. And then you got your belief systems. So, pretty cool that you're here. Okay, I tell you what. Why don't we start, and anyone that, we'll start a couple minutes early, but people will gather with us. So, my name is Jim Keefe, and I'm going to be leading this tour, and I've been doing this for about 2.5 years, and it is the highlight of my month. It is the most fun time that I spend every month, and I hope you have the same type of experience. It's kind of like when you go to a Baskin Robbins, and you say, "God, that looks good. Can I have a little spoonful of it?" And you get a taste. So I'm going to give you a taste of what it's like to be a part of this organization. And hopefully at the end you'll come back. You'll be inspired to, this is something that would be valuable for me. And so we're going to be together for about an hour. It'll go quickly, and you're welcome to leave anytime. And we're going to visit a number of saints that really typify what self-realization is about. So the story of self-realization started about almost 100 years ago. But before I actually get into the story, I want to find out a little bit about you and how it was that you got here. Who's here for the first time? First time? Okay. Yeah. Can I just ask you how it was? Why are you here? I mean, what did you hear about it?
We're visiting from Oklahoma, and
she's been here before.
She's been here before and highly recommended it.
Okay. Okay. So you got kind of a sense that there's something different about this place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If the world was like this, we'll be okay.
Yeah. You would, LA Times. You wouldn't look the way it looks, right? That's why I'm here. Who else? You're here for the first time. So what prompted you to be here?
My dad brought me. We're spending Father's Day together, and he came out here a few weeks ago and thought it would be nice to.
Okay.
But I've been
Here
coming
today.
here for many years.
Many
But I
years.
came here 2 weeks too.
Yeah.
I live in Orange County.
Orange County, really? Yeah. Some people they drive all the way down from Santa Barbara to come to the. Who else? Who else? You here for the first time? No.
For many years.
Okay. What about you?
I've been trying to come here for a bit. I've just never been able to make it here until today.
Okay. Okay.
And I heard about it from the temple that was over there by Sunset, and right off the.
Hollywood, the Hollywood
Yeah,
Temple?
yeah.
Okay, there's about 4 or 5 temples in Southern California, and that's what he's talking about. So my story, how I got involved with this, I live about 3 miles up the hill on Palisades Drive, and on my way to work, I'm a physician. I work at Marina Del Rey Hospital, and so for 10 years I come down Palisades Drive, turn right, go down Sunset, and go down PCH. And I'm looking over my left shoulder, and I see this windmill, and I see statues, and I see some lotus blossoms, and I don't know what it is, but it looks interesting, but not interesting enough for me to actually pull in the driveway. So I know that it's called Self-Realization Fellowship, and this is California. This is another one of those things. So that's about as much thought as I gave to it. And then my wife one day was in a gym. We both go to this gym down at the corner of PCH and Sunset. It used to be called Spectrum, but it doesn't matter. A friend of hers was asking her what we were up to. And, so Leslie told her, says, well, we've been taking a couple of courses with Deepak Chopra, and we're starting to learn how to meditate. And so Kathy, the next day, says, well, if you really want to learn how to meditate, and she brings this bag filled with goodies, okay? And one of them was the Autobiography of a Yogi, which was written by Paramahansa back in the 40s, and some CDs. And so it's on Valentine's Day 5 years ago, and she pulls into the driveway, and she's by herself, and she pulls over and she puts the CD in the change room and starts listening, and it's Paramahansa giving a talk back in the 30s. And she just started to cry. And she said, I don't know what it was, but he was telling people in that talk something I've been looking for my whole life. So she came home that night to dinner, and we're having dinner. And we always find out how your day was. And I said, so I asked her how her day was, and she shared that experience with me. She says, I'd like to go to the service next week. So Leslie and I were both raised in the Catholic faith. And for me, when she made that invitation, it was like, oh, been there, done that.
Yeah, covered.
Really? For me, it was like having gone to a restaurant and they give you the menu,
Right.
and then they give you the check. You have no experience of that thing that you want. So it was all conceptual. And so I didn't really look forward to it, but I thought, well, a lot of good things happen when I say yes to her. So I said, okay, I'll go on. And so when I got in, I still was confused. I saw Jesus on the altar, and I recognized him. But who are those other guys? I had no idea. So that's how I got interested. Okay? So it doesn't matter how you got here, you're here. And so the story begins around 1920. Paramahansa Yogananda, the founder of Self-Realization, was invited to give a talk to a group of religious leaders in Boston. And his purpose of being here, that he told these people, I'm here to introduce the benefits of yoga meditation. And they didn't understand what he was talking about. Next Wednesday is designated the International Day of Yoga. The Prime Minister of India got the UN to designate June 21st, which is the summer equinox, the solstice as the International Day of Yoga. And so yoga is like mainstream now. People talk about it, and but it was not here when Paramahansa arrived. Now here he's 27 years old, can hardly speak English, and he gave this talk. And people asked him after he was given the talk, he said, "Are you here to start another religion? Is that your purpose of being here? I mean, what's going on?" And he says, "No, nothing of the sort. This is not about a different religion." And he made this interesting thing. He said most religions are not well balanced. They're about concepts, ceremonies, and religious beliefs, and for the most part, they're not important. The true purpose of religion is to enhance your ability to get inside, experience your soul, and find out who you are as a spiritual being. Everyone's on a spiritual path, but most people don't realize it. I'm talking about something inside of you, not concepts and ceremonies. So they didn't totally get what he was saying, but that's the purpose of his being here. And so that was the start of self-realization in